Yep. Y'all already know, man. Y'all know Eagles way of boxing. Let's talk about a little bit at least. Yeah, I was running behind schedule so badly that I said, I'm not going to deprive you guys. I'm not, well, not, well, that's kind of deprivation, right? It's kind of depriving you coming in and just give you 5 minutes and go. Yeah, I had to come in. I had to say something. Yeah, I had to have one. I had to have a troll that came on my page too. Thank you, troll, for coming through and putting your comment, whatever. But there's no way. I think that Earl Spence um, is going to just set things up that way. You feel me? It's just that's just not. It wouldn't be a good look. Not just not a good look, but I just don't. I don't believe that he. That's how. I don't think he operates like that. As far as Earl Spence, I don't believe Earl Spence operates in that manner. And then they have like what, a fake doctor behind you and all that. Who does that? Huh? Even the phoniest people don't do that. You know what I mean? Even like the phoniest people. The phoniest people, they don't do that. You know what I mean? That's crazy. For the phone, like I said, the phoniest people, don't do stuff like that. So why would Earl Spence do it? And he's not like the phoniest person like that. I don't know. It's just I try to look at this boxing thing in a good light, but then what ends up happening is I end up looking at the boxing in another light. It's like that's not the light that I want to look at boxing in. But I have to end up looking at boxing in a whole different light. Because a lot of times we'll go somewhere with the boxing. We'll go to one area with boxing, like, okay, the boxing, this is what's wrong with it. How can we get it back? And then we don't look at it no more. But then these certain things will just keep resurfacing over and over again. I see where the hate is. I mean, come on. If you don't like Earl Spence, then you just don't like Earl Spence. Who cares? Does even Earl Spence care if you like him or not? Hmm. But to turn him into like a ducker, he didn't duck Manny Garcia or Sean Porter, but he's gonna duck Manny Pacquiao, even though Keith Thurman fought Manny Pacquiao and Jeff Horn fought Manny Pacquiao, and Marquez knocked out Manny Pacquiao. Marquez would definitely not couldn't knock out Earl Spence. I don't think he would ever be able to knock out somebody like Earl Spence. But a lot of people, I mean, we're gonna blame up the repetition. Oh yeah, he fought Manny so many times, finally caught Manny. No, always caught Manny. He just finally put Manny to sleep. It wasn't a thing about catching Manny. So you mean in all their fights he's never hit Manny? That's what people try to say. See, I'm the wrong person to try to have disputes with when it comes to certain things on this boxing. Don't dispute with me on stuff that we can obviously see. No, Marquez never landed a hand on him. That's why the fights were so close. He never touched him. Right. He just over touched him. That's gonna happen if you fight somebody 3 times. Eventually, it's gonna happen. He just didn't catch you earlier. I mean, he just did. Well, now I'm talking like some people were talking when he said catches. No, he just didn't knock your ass out previously. He's caught you, but sometimes you fight a fighter, um, and he gets knocked out by somebody, and then you feel, oh shoot, I can knock him out. That doesn't always work that way. Now I can't even remember because I've been rushing all day. My mind is not settled down now, but I can't remember. It wasn't Castano, was it? But Charlo had just fought um, somebody that he was supposed to knock out, and he didn't get the knockout. Right? And that was Mel. Mel was supposed to knock somebody out. Same thing with Maul. Maul was supposed to knock somebody out. It just sometimes it doesn't always work out like that. You have to have a participant. You have to have somebody who's willing to be knocked out. And in some cases, we've seen that these fighters aren't willing to be knocked out. Like, for instance, Mikey Garcia wasn't willing to get knocked out by Earl Spence. He just wasn't willing. He could have been a willing participant, but he wasn't. I tell you a classic example of a person that's willing to get knocked out. And it's because their concentration is only good when they're doing good. And they both come from across the pond. And that's Amir Khan and Ricky Hatton. You know what I mean? Those two, they're made for knockout. They're made for getting knocked out. And the reason they're made for getting knocked out because once their game plan is exposed or they just don't have a game plan, then what happens? Once they don't have a game plan, then they just more or less they just fall into any trap that is set for them. If you're a good fighter, if you're not a good fighter, it doesn't matter. They'll keep trying the same thing over and over again. But if you're a good fighter and you're warding off the attack, like you're parrying certain stuff, you're countering and all this, and moving with different angles, they can't really get to you with what they're doing. Then they just abandon it. And those two fighters are the type that will test. They'll test you. I wonder if I can go for broke. I wonder if I can land a big shot. I'm not known for like a one punch on everybody, but maybe I can land this one big shot. And that's what those type of fighters do. Now we still have fighters like that. A lot of people can't see that, but we still have fighters like that. So I'm not picking on those two fighters, but we still have fighters that, will get desperate early. And the thing about it, they get desperate too early. I'm glad I said early because I was gonna say late, later in the fight, but sometimes it's early. When I say early, I mean before the championship rounds. Before they just abandon everything. You know what I mean? You wait until the last round or two before you just abandon everything. Okay, I just gotta go for broke. Because your corner's gonna tell you, if you got a good corner, they're gonna tell you anyway, oh, you need a knockout. They give you that memo. Oh, by the way, did I tell you that you needed a knockout? Yes, I need the knockout. And so there you go. If you need the knockout, then guess what? That means you have to go in there and get the knockout. Yeah, but I didn't want to do something that was live. Just thinking, I didn't want to do something live on Spence. But, with all the trolls coming through, of course, yeah, we talk about Spence. Bernard Hopkins talking about Spence. But the one thing he should never had, since he's a fighter, all fighters should always give the benefit of the doubt to the other fighter in public. You hear what I'm saying? So you fighters, you have your own culture, but you're disrespectful in your own culture. So if somebody has a problem, respect that problem in public. So the public will respect it in public. Now, if you find out something else, you still respect it in public. If it's directly related to you, then maybe you disrespect it a little bit in public. But if it's not related to you, then you disrespect it in public. And then you can disrespect it like at home, around your family or somebody else, around your friends. Then you could talk bad about it. But you kill things in your own sport. I'm tired of teaching everybody, or not everybody, but I'm tired of teaching you guys how to get your culture back. The boxing culture. Because I speak on the boxing perspective of it, and they don't get it. They don't listen. They got all these forums. They can't use any of them properly. All these experimental platforms, that's what they are. They're experimental platforms to see how far you could be taken. That's what a lot of you don't get that. People don't get it. We're trying to see how far you will take it. We don't care. We just want to see how far you take it. And a lot of you people, just on these different platforms, you're taking it way too far. And that's what you got to stop doing. You got to stop taking it so far. Because all these things were, to be honest, is there's something for you just to go communicate online. And it all started with the chat rooms and stuff like that. People would go to certain chat rooms. They were all labeled and stuff. And that wasn't even, to me, that wasn't even that long ago. And I think I got into that when it was phasing out. The chat room stuff, when it was phasing out, that's when I got into it just a little bit. But I used to go play chess online with family members and stuff like that. And they had Pogo back then. So a lot of y'all don't even know what Pogo is. You might not have been born. You may have been, but you might not have been. I know it was in 2000 something. It was still in the 2000s, but some of y'all this 15, 16 years old, you don't know. So when those things was going on, there was only so much communication. But they take these things further and further. And so don't think this is the end of it. So now we're ahead of everybody again, like we always are. And so I would express to you that these media platforms are taking it even on other levels. I know they got Amigo now or something like that, Twitch, what was it? TikTok, Facebook. Most people don't really do Facebook no more. They just go in there, just put family information up. But they'll have another one. And they're going to set these things up so they take more and more of your privacy away, but make you feel that you are more and more secure. Because if I set up in your mind, I put in your mind an infrastructure, and then I start saying stuff like, oh yeah, that 7G coming out, or 10G, total security. If I'm calling it total security, right? And a lot of people believe that. So no matter what you do, it's total security. Oh, I got the firewall, I got this and that. What, the firewall? That's a dangerous name to me. Fire and wall. Those are two things that don't really go together. But why do they put them together? Who named that? What does it stand? What does the fire stand for? Is that really an anonym, or is that just a nickname, or just a real name? What is it? Because I really don't know. If somebody knows, let me know what the actual fire stands for in firewall. Because that doesn't sound like anything. It says internet, something internet, RE. So I wouldn't know what it is. I never knew it. I just knew it makes your computer harder to attack. But who wants to attack all the computers? Somebody has that much time to attack millions and billions of computers? I don't know. For me, I don't know. And I always want you to get, anti-spyware, viralware, and all that type of stuff. Oh, you need the virus protection. Spam detection, spam blocker. What else? What else they got? There's just so many of them that they have. Why do we need so many? But now they're making it like automatic, your default rather. So your default for protection is becoming more and more, and that's what they're telling you. But I'm not telling you that. You ain't getting that from me. I don't really know what really is secure or not, or I don't know who owns these companies to make everything so secure. So they make it secure. Are they accessing everything? It seems like it, because they scan all your files and everything else, supposedly. They're supposed to scan your files. How deep do they scan them? I don't know. Yeah, maybe you know. But all the hate that we got, for certain fighters, don't. I would suggest that you don't hate fighters that are actually going out doing something, not the ones that's just out talking. Well, I'm out here running my mouth. I want you next. I want all the smoke. Y'all asking? They ask? Cause you asking the question like this? I want all the smoke. No, you you don't sound too confident. But the whole thing with the Earl Spence, so everything will clear itself up. I'm on the side that believes or knows. I have to know that Earl is not any type of a makeup artist. He's not a comedian like that. That he is a fighter and he's been through a lot. You can see the video. Earl Spence ain't scared of nobody or nothing. If you are not scared after more or less seeing your life flash before your eyes as a horse with four wheels whoops your ass, and if you ain't scared, then from that you ain't scared of nothing. You're not gonna be. You ain't scared of no man. Can't no man do to you what that four-wheeled horse did to you. Not even close. So yeah. Anyway, I wanted to come on. We was gonna discuss a little bit, but so we're going into the Regal fight. Yeah, and Trout. This is Friday, cause so Trout fights tonight. So you guys, big up to Trout, Austin Trout. So big ups to him. I came on because you guys told me to come on, but then you wasn't expecting me because it was late. I told you it would probably be late because I just got home. I had things I had to take care of first because I've been away from the house since this morning. So I had to come home and take care of a few things. But they're done now. You're just not here when you should be here, but you're not. And then we got Regal. So Regal's fighting over the weekend. I'm going to go with Regal. We'll talk about it more a little bit later. But anyway, I just wanted to come in and get a couple of words off and just wait around to see if you guys really wanted me to come on. It don't seem like you guys made it. You guys gave up hope. I don't know. I can come on late this Friday, so I'll be up. I'm in a different time zone than you're in, so so I have that luxury that you don't have. And yes, you're just a person that stays up late. If you stay up late, then yeah, then it's not gonna bother you one way or another. Yep. All right. Well, anyway, my shout out to all the real people I see, and my shout out to all y'all that mess with me, man. That's right. We'll get more going next time. You should have came back. You wanted me to come back, especially you, Lala D. You told me to get my butt out on here, and then you didn't show up. So now you're gonna look back at this. Oh, come back on again. If I get a chance, I will. I will catch y'all.